Welcome back to the vlog, guys. I thought we'd do something a little bit different today and see how much I can read in a week. So I do have quite a routine that I do throughout the week because I work Monday to Friday and I do commute to work. So I try to fit a lot in throughout the week. So I don't spend a huge amount of time reading during the weekday. It's more so weekends where I do most of my reading. But because I commute, I do listen to a lot of audiobooks. So my days pretty much consist of, in the morning, I get up at 4:45 every morning, go do Pilates. I leave from Pilates, so I'll shower and get ready for work at Pilates. Go to work, I work 7:30 to 3:30, and then I drive home. I have an hour's commute, so by the time I get out of work and get home, it's usually roughly around 5 to 5:30. And then when I get home, I jump in the sauna for half an hour and then I shower, get myself ready. I will put something on or do some sort of chore like my washing, do some dishes, whatever it needs to be done pretty much. And then I will have dinner. And so by the time I've done all of that, it's like 6:30 at night. And because I'm getting up early, I try to go to bed by like at least 9:30. So it gives me a couple of hours to really sit down and relax. By the time I've eaten dinner and then washed the dishes or whatever I've got to do, it's pretty late. It's like 7:30. And then before I know it, it's like 8 o'clock. And then I'm already thinking about winding down for the day and then ready to go to bed. So I don't do a huge amount of reading throughout the week, but we'll see what we get up to. It is Monday now. We'll probably do Monday to Sunday, maybe. I'll see how I'm feeling on Friday and sort of where I'm at with the reading. But my goal is to get at least one physical book in and then maybe 2 audiobooks. Right now, I've started listening to an audiobook today. It is the little novella in the ACOTAR series, A Court of Starlight and something or other. So I picked that one because I'm listening to that on Spotify and I just finished a book on Spotify, and I think this one will also fall under my 15 hours of listening time or whatever you get for Spotify. Sorry, my hair's touching my leg and I'm freaking myself out a little bit. But anyway, so yeah, that I've started listening to tonight. I won't be able to give a page count on that, I don't think. I'll just look it up on Goodreads to see what the page count is on there. But I'm feeling a dark romance today. So I think, and let me grab the book. They're jam-packed in there. So what I want to read this week is I want to start the Legacy of God series by Rena Kent and read God of Malice. So this is the book I might start reading tonight, see how I feel. And then, yeah, we're going to see how far I get through this book without trying to get any spoilers. There's 443 pages in this book. Whether it starts on page 1 or not, I don't know. Let me have a quick look. Oh, it does. Cool. So the novel actually starts on page 1, and this one's such a cool... I got the whole set secondhand, and I think they're indie published. So yeah, we're going to start this. I don't know what it's about. All I know is that it's college romance, I think, maybe mafia and dark romance. I've heard they're very bingeable reads, which is kind of what I want. I want something that's easy to sink into, but I don't know. I'm just feeling dark romance. I've got no explanation for it other than that. And the audiobook I just picked because if I do run out of Spotify hours, I don't really care if it takes a while to get back into that book. It was just something that I picked up randomly that was short enough that I think it will fit within this month's allotted time. If not, it doesn't matter. I'll pick something else from Audible because I still have my Audible subscription going. And so I've got like a heap of books on there. And then maybe I can also do like a dark romance, maybe like a more like fantasy, dark romantasy type book, or maybe I'll go something completely different so I'm not, you know, burning myself out with that, but we shall see. But we're going to start with this, and then I will just use Goodreads to try and track the pages that would be on my audio books as well. Okay guys, so I am going to call it a night for night one. It is about 8:45 now. I got up to page 50 in God of Malice, and I'm liking it so far. I'm intrigued to see where it goes. I'm not usually a bully romance type girly. I don't mind a dark romance, but I don't like when the romance is what makes the book dark. So this one starts off very questionable. I would definitely check your trigger warnings. So we'll see how it goes and whether I end up liking it or not. But I think I'd be intrigued also to read, I think the parents of these characters have their own series as well, which obviously you should probably read before this, but I don't have them, and I do have the whole lot of these. So yeah, I'd be intrigued to read that as well, depending on how I go with these books. But so far it's fine. Like, I'm enjoying it. It's definitely caught my attention. Yeah, so we shall see. So page 50 in our book. And while I have been reading for a little bit, I've also been watching TV. So it's a little bit of reading, a little bit of watching TV. And I did get a later start because I was doing the video editing. So yeah, I think I've read for maybe a solid hour, if that. And then on the phone, I don't know if it's gonna load or pick up on it, but I am listening to A Court of Frost and Starlight. I have 4 hours and 35 minutes left, and I'm 18% completed. So if I check Goodreads, all right, so A Court of Frost and Starlight has 272 pages, which means I'm about 48 pages roughly, 48, 49 pages into that as well. So yeah, that one I should definitely finish tomorrow, because by the time I drive to and from work, that's 2 hours, and then I'll probably listen to it while I jump in the sauna as well. So that will probably finish that book off. So that's about 272 pages for that book, but both of them are sitting roughly around 50 pages each, and that is it for night one. So to make sure that it's not too boring, I'll try and break it up a little bit on how I film. Otherwise, I might just end up cutting it so it's to the check-ins. We'll see how long the video ends up being, but it's getting late and I'm getting tired, so I'm gonna go to bed, and I shall see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, all right, so it is Tuesday now. I've just got home and I'm getting ready to pack my stuff for tomorrow. I've just set my sauna to heat. So I have listened to 78% of, I don't know if this is going to focus, but A Court of Frost and Starlight. It says there's an hour and 15 minutes left. So I don't know if that hour and 15 is like a complete hour and 15, or because I listen at 1.5, if it's going to be a little bit less. But I usually sauna for about 30 minutes, so I may not get this complete tonight, but I'm thinking depending on how much is actually left, I might finish it off after. And then, yeah, it is about 5:15 now, so I got home about 5-ish. So yeah, once I I've got like my clothes for tomorrow. I've got to take out all my dirty clothes. I might run a load of laundry tonight or do my sauna. So I'll pop what I'm wearing in the wash. And then, yeah, after I've showered, I'll put my laundry on, have something to eat, and then sit down to read. So this is where I start losing time, I feel, from now, because I'll get in the sauna at like 5:30ish. So by 6, I'm out, I'm showering, I'm having dinner. And then between 6 and 7 o'clock, I feel like time just disappears, because by the time I cook dinner, sit down, I've already cooked it, which is good. I just got to heat it up. do whatever dishes I've got to do. My night's basically done, and 7:30 is here already, and then I'm pretty much ready to get ready to go to bed. So yeah, we're gonna do this really quickly. The sauna takes about 10-15 minutes to heat up, and then I'm gonna go get changed and jump in there, and then I will check back in with you guys when I'm sitting down to relax, I think, because I am also trying to upload a couple of videos to YouTube. So I'll try and get that done tonight as well. But yeah, let's get this all ready and sorted so that tomorrow morning, again, all I have to do is make my coffee and go to the gym. Okay guys, so I'm coming at you. It is about 10 to 7 now. So like I said, the day just sort of disappears, and hopefully you can't hear it too bad, but I have my washing drying at the moment. I have listened to 90% of A Court of Frost and Starlight. So that is roughly 196 pages today. So 48 pages yesterday, roughly 196 pages today. So that is about 2.5 hours of listening time. So I listened to an hour, or maybe just over an hour of it this morning on my way to the gym and work. So that's just over an hour. And then I listened to it on my hour's drive home, and then for about the 30 minutes that I was in the sauna. So now that it's 7 o'clock, I haven't even had dinner yet. So I'm probably not gonna do much reading in the way of a physical read, because I just kind of want to sit, eat, and maybe watch some TV. So if I get anything in tonight, I'll either check in tonight or tally it up for you tomorrow. But yeah, so that's 2.5 hours of listening time. So no current physical reading. So this is what I mean. Like, I can get through books quite easily if I'm obviously listening and reading books at the same time. But yeah, most nights I'm just tired and don't want to read, and I'd like to just sit and eat my dinner, watch some TV, get some housework done so I don't have to do it on the weekend. So this is sort of like where my reading slows down a bit, and then it picks up a lot more on the weekend. So yeah, I will just check back in later, guys, if I do any reading, or maybe even tomorrow. But that's it for today. I will just say I will probably look exactly the same, like I'm doing this in one day, but I swear it is the next day. But I'm gonna come at you with wet hair looking feral, because if I wait for it to dry, it's gonna be late anyway and too dark to film. And I wear this jumper to the gym. So from home to the gym, where I take it off to work out so it doesn't even get sweaty at the gym. And then I come home, I do my shower and get ready for the night, and then I wear it until I go to bed. So I don't wear this shirt very often, which is why you're probably going to see it the whole week. But yeah, I do wash my clothes and I do shower, and the clothes underneath the jumper are always changing. But I just don't see the point in swapping out the jumper, even if it is just to make it look like it's a different day. So yeah, I'm gonna look the same through this whole thing, but I'll keep telling you what day it is. So yeah, don't worry. But it's still Tuesday, you know, second day in, and yeah, not a lot of actual physical reading done yet, or at all. So yeah, but I have got my video uploading now, so that's all done. It's uploading in the background, and then the washing, once it's dried, I'll probably fold it and put it away tomorrow, and that will be tomorrow's task, which I'll do probably while I'm waiting for my sauna to heat up. And so that will be it. And then once that's done, I can maybe sit down and read. But yeah, I was stuck at work a little bit longer today than I thought, and so hopefully tomorrow I can get out a bit earlier. But it seems like all the work piles up on one day, and always in the afternoon. I don't know why. I'll have like a pretty chill morning, and then all of a sudden in the afternoon I'm scrambling. But you know, work pops up when it pops up, and you just got to do what you got to do. But anyway, I will check in with you guys probably tomorrow. So guys, it's the next day. It is Wednesday. I haven't dealt with any of my stuff yet. I've literally just got home, and this is going to be a terrible angle, so I'm sorry. But I got a fun package, so I thought we could open it together. I bought myself a face mask. I got the Medicube Collagen Wrapping Mask. So this is like the one that dries and you can peel it off. So it's like an overnight one if you want, but looks like they've given me some extra stuff in here. Oh, it's like a mouthwash. It's random. Sleeping pack. Moisturizers. So 3 little moisturizers. And I'm pretty sure I didn't buy extra masks, but maybe I did. And I just forgot, because that is 100% possible. But I also got like the same collagen masks, but as like the actual like face masks. There's 4 there. I don't know if that's like a free gift or maybe I paid for it. I would have to check my thing. But either way, I definitely didn't. This is definitely free. I did not put these in there, little sample things. I don't know, mouthwash, that's weird. Anyway, so yeah, I'm super excited to try this. So this is now going to be potentially part of my routine. So it's about 5 o'clock now. I didn't really read anything physical last night, so I had nothing to add to that, but I'm feeling a little less tired today, so we'll see how I feel in a couple of hours. But yeah, when I'm done with my sauna today, I'm going to try this face mask. I might put one of these ones on so I'll look super crazy, but I think it's the ones that go on white and then they dry clear and you can peel them off. But I just thought it'd be fun to try, see how I like it. But I've got like all my jackets here. I've got my bags down on the floor. I need to clear those up. And then the laundry that I did yesterday was pretty much drying last night, and now I just need to fold it and put it away. I just thrown it all on the couch. So that is what I'm going to do now, and then jump in and do my sauna session. So hopefully by 5:45, 6 o'clock, I might actually be able to sit down and relax, but who knows. I might order some dinner in today, I think. I can't be bothered cooking. Not that I can ever really be bothered cooking, but yeah. And then I will check in with you. I started listening to Friends with the Monsters, or Friends with My Monsters. Friends with the Monsters. So Friends with the Monsters by Albany Walker. I'm up to chapter 11. And so there's 4 hours left. I will figure out later once I finish, because I'll listen to this while I'm in the sauna, but like the cover is really cool on this. I don't know if it's going to focus, but yeah. I'm having a good time with it so far. So I finished up A Court of Frost and Starlight this morning. So that one is just a little slice of life novella in the ACOTAR series. So, you know, I don't want to tell anyone anything about it because it is a spoiler essentially. But yeah, if you don't know what it's about up to that point, it's pretty much just a small little novella, which I wasn't intending on really ever reading it or listening to it. But I did end up buying the 4th book in that series because I wasn't going to continue. I was quite happy to just leave it off after the first 3 and it rounded out that section of the story. But then, yeah, I found the 4th book for like $3. So I thought I'd just buy it and continue it on because it's kind of weird. Like I do like the series and I really enjoyed it. When I was reading it, I really was like engaged with it and enjoyed it. I mean, the first book was a bit whatever, but you know, I knew that before going in because that is one series that was definitely well and truly spoiled for me before I started. But yeah, I wasn't sure if it would be for me. So I just listened to the first one on audio, and then I actually enjoyed the last third of it enough that I wanted to keep going, and then I really, really liked the second and third book. So I was quite happy to leave it there, though. I didn't have a huge drive to sort of rush out and get the fourth book, but now that I've listened to the novella, not that like the novella's good, it's fun, it's just a short sort of slice of life story, as I said, but yeah, it's kind of made me miss that world and want to be back in that world. So yeah, I think it's one that in the moment I absolutely love reading it, but it doesn't necessarily, like, I don't know, I did really enjoy it, but I didn't think that I would be drawn back into it. But I kind of am now. Having come back into that world a little bit, yeah, it wasn't something I thought I'd miss enough to want to go back into. And until I pick it up, it's probably going to stay that way. Like I don't have the great urge to like rush out and finish the story. So yeah, I don't know. Mostly because I'm not particularly interested in the sisters. I just kind of find it boring. I'm not really interested, but I miss the world and I enjoy the world, so I'm willing to see if I like it to keep going. Anyway, with that said, I will calculate at the end of my sauna session how much I've listened to with Friends with the Monsters, and try and do like a page estimate, and then yeah, I might read a bit of the Rena Kent book. Anyway, I'm going to pack all this up off camera because it's just the same thing I do every single day, and then I will catch you when I'm actually sitting down, ready to talk, probably looking exactly like I did yesterday, but I feel like actually I wore a black t-shirt and black pants to work yesterday as well. I just look like I wear the same thing every single day. Anyway, never mind. I'll catch you later. Okay guys, so I'm back with the wet hair, the same jumper, the same position, but it's Wednesday. I am about halfway through the book Friends with the Monsters by Albany Walker. So according to Goodreads, it's telling me there's 424 pages in this book, and I am just about to finish chapter 13 out of 31 chapters. So I would say maybe I've read like 200 pages or so, or maybe not quite that many comparatively, but I've got just under, I don't know if it's going to focus, just under 4 hours of listening time. So I should actually probably have it finished by, it's Wednesday now, so probably Thursday night. But yeah, we shall see. So this book follows Dami. She is our FMC. So Dami is a sort of like a sin eater. She doesn't really know for sure, but she can sense other people's sins. So she knows if someone's lying because it's a sin, and she can sense how dark someone's sort of soul is. And so she's also experienced a situation where she fed too much and actually like fed on someone's soul and they died. So yeah, she's kind of some sort of supernatural being, but she's not 100% sure what she is, but that's just what she can do that she knows of. And she is living out in the forest. She's in this house that would be considered haunted, and she's literally friends with all these different like monstrous beings. So there's like a little mention of things like with Bloody Mary. So she'll be having tea with Mary and she like talks and interacts with all these creatures. And then she calls one of them Uncle Longlegs or something like that, because he's like the super tall, creepy, thin man that if you ever watch any kind of like either ghost hunting or ghost themed movies or something, they're always lurking in the shadows. So all these creatures like are drawn to her and she talks to them. And then she meets these 3 guys that are supposed to be her guardians, but she didn't know they existed. So one of them she's known because he has been helping her to feed when she was too young to feed herself, but she'd never actually met him. He'd never made himself known to her in a corporeal sense. And so other than to feed her when she was a child, she has not interacted with these guys at all. And then something's happened that now they're coming out of the woodworks, and she's trying to figure out who they are, what they are, how they fit into her life, and essentially who she is as well, because she's sort of isolated herself from people and only sort of goes out when she needs to feed. So yeah, it's definitely interesting. The audio is a duet or full cast audio, so that's really fun. I'm enjoying that. I really have no clue what's going on in this book, but I think that's because our FMC does not also know what is going on, but it's not detracting from the book. Like, there's enough going on, it's interesting, and there's all these characters that you're sort of getting to know. So I picked this one up not so much because I thought it would be this massively intricate world, but just because I thought it'd be fun to listen to something like this. So yeah, I'm having a good time. And I'm intrigued to see where it goes, and if I like it enough, I'll probably jump straight into the next book. Otherwise, I'll listen to something else in the meantime and then come back to it. But yeah, I'm having a good time and about halfway through. So I don't know exactly where I'm sitting, but it'd be roughly like 190 to 200 pages. So I will finish that probably in the next couple of days, but I will check in as well tomorrow where I get up to in that. And then I'm probably going to read a little bit of this tonight as well. It's currently 7 o'clock. I have just sort of put the TV on because I've got dinner sitting next to me ready to be eaten. So I'm going to eat that first, and then I may read for a little bit, but I will check in before I go to bed if I do actually get any reading in tonight, since I did not read last night. I was, just tired and not in the mood to read. So yes, I will check in later. All right, guys, it is Thursday night now. I'm just finishing up uploading one of my videos, but I thought I'd just check in really quickly because it is just about 8:30 at night, and I'm just finishing up some laundry in the other room, so if you can hear that, I'm sorry, but I wanted to check in quickly because I am just basically going to finish up for the night and then jump into bed and read for a little bit. But I listened up to chapter 26 in Friends with the Monsters. So I'm guessing, because it says there's about 430 or just under 430 pages, that it's roughly 190. So I listened to about 2.5 hours today and 2.5 hours yesterday. So thereabouts. So 190 pages roughly. So I should finish that tomorrow night, which will bring us to the Friday night. And then last night I did end up reading 50 pages of God of Malice. So I just read in bed, so I didn't bother updating you last night, but I'm going to do the same again tonight. I'm going to sort of get myself ready and settled and then just spend the rest of the night in bed reading and have an earlier night. Well, I say I'll have an earlier night, but by the time I finish reading, it'll probably be late anyway. And then tomorrow is the start of a long weekend. So I don't know. I'm undecided if I want to do the full 7 days. I think I will, because otherwise I don't really do a whole lot of reading during the week. But yeah, I do have some plans over the weekend. Nothing I'm not going away or anything, but yeah, just things that will probably stop me from reading for a decent chunk of time. But yeah, we shall see. As it stands, I have listened to the whole of A Court of Frost and Starlight, which is roughly 272 pages, and I am currently to 380 pages into Friends with the Monsters, and 100 pages into God of Malice. I've written everything down as an acronym on here to keep track of the pages, and so I've got to remember what I'm actually reading and meant by those pages. But yeah, so I will check back in with you guys tomorrow night. I will be probably sitting up, obviously being a Friday night, and I don't have to get up too early for the gym or work or anything like that. I do tend to stay up a bit later over the weekend. And then, yeah, I will probably also start editing this video tomorrow night. So we'll probably cut into some reading time. And then on the weekend, we'll see how much I actually get read. But I'll see you guys. And hey, look, I'm wearing a different shirt. Woo! See, I do have other clothes. But it was just really hot tonight. So yeah, I didn't put my jumper on. But anyway, I will catch you guys tomorrow. All right, guys. I'm checking in. It is Sunday now, so I finished off on Friday night listening to Friends with the Monsters. I only had probably roughly about 20 or so pages left. So all up, I finished that on my drive home, and I'm giving that one 3 stars. It was an okay book. It's definitely more of a kind of like a spicy, low stakes, hardly any plot book. So you really only go into that one to listen, to have a fun time. Like, it's definitely not going to give you like some epic fantasy plot and like this great, I don't know, I'm not going to say it's bad. Like, I enjoyed it. I definitely think you've just got to enjoy it for what it is. Like, it's not some great, well-written, well-rounded out, fleshed out story, but it's just a fun time. So yeah, go into it not expecting some big epic fantasy or romantasy, but just go into it with wanting to have a fun time where you don't have to really switch your brain on. You can sort of just listen to it as you're doing things, and I think you'll enjoy this one. So it was a reverse harem. There are 3 men, 1 woman, and they're all sort of something not quite human. And there is a story going on in the background, but yeah, like I said, the plot doesn't really go very far and it doesn't really flesh itself out, and it's kind of just there, I think. So it's not just completely smart. So it does have a second, it is a duology. It does have a second book. I will probably listen to it eventually, but I'm not rushing to get into it straight away. The story sort of rounded out a little bit, but obviously is continuing on. So you do get a mini conclusion. It's not like this massive cliffhanger. And then, yeah, obviously the rest of the story concludes in the second book. But right now, I haven't read anything since Thursday. Friday night, I got home from work and was just exhausted. I did a little bit of housework and then I watched TV for the rest of the day. And then Saturday, I don't know what happened yesterday. My body just decided it had had enough. I went shopping in the morning and got home, had some food, sat down, and then this was just before lunchtime. And then the next thing I remember, it's 4 o'clock. So I was in and out, having a sleep all day. My body was just exhausted. Like, I don't feel sick, but yeah, I was just really, really tired. And then I went to bed quite early last night, about 9 o'clock, and I woke up around 7:30 this morning. And honestly, I feel like I could have, it's one of those days where I could have just gone back to sleep and stayed asleep, but I don't want to waste the weekend. I feel like days like that, even though it's not a waste, like obviously my body needed a break, but yeah, I feel like it's a waste of a day. So we're getting up, it's about 8 o'clock now. It's dark outside and raining, and I'm going to go for a walk. So the only jacket I have is this gigantic puffer as like a weather sort of resistant jacket, but I don't really feel like I need it. But I'm going to listen to God of Malice while we're out walking. I'm going to go maybe grab myself a coffee at the cafe or something. But I'm up to chapter 10, so about page 100, which is just into chapter 10 of God of Malice. So I'm going to listen to those as we walk. I've got about 6 to 9 hours left on Spotify, so I'm going to listen to it on Spotify and hope that I don't, well, I'm not going to listen that long today, I don't think, but yeah, I can get some of these chapters in while we walk, and hopefully the audiobook is good. But I'm enjoying it so far. It's very much a dark romance, and I say I'm okay with dark romance, which I am. I don't have triggers per se. There are just certain things that I really dislike, because certain things for me cross over from, dark. I don't know. I suppose it's just, maybe I do have triggers, I guess. Maybe I do, but yeah, anything that sort of crosses that line into like what it could be considered like sexual assault or, someone who's underage. I don't know. There's certain age gaps. I'm really picky with my age gaps. Yeah, I don't like anything where the person has raised or been around the raising of the child that they are then wanting to sleep with, and things where they're barely legal. Like there are certain stories where, you've got a more mature, younger character, but they're more mentally mature. That one, it doesn't bother me too much. Like Birthday Girl, I absolutely love that. But the FMC in there is 19, but she's a mature 19, she's not read like she's a high schooler that's just basically turned legal. So that one I was okay with, I really enjoyed. But yeah, anything where they're like, oh cool, so next month she'll be legal, so good to go. That, yeah, not for me. So dark romances, I guess, when it goes into that, sometimes I'm okay with it and can suspend my belief, and sometimes I can't. And so far, I'm okay with God of Malice. I think, yeah, I don't know, but I'm okay with it so far. But I have read some where it's very similar in theme, but the characters don't ever seem to, I don't know, like get better, and the encounters still continue to feel like assault to me. So those ones I don't like. And bully romance, like if it's the whole time, I'm not really on board with it. But if they sort of redeem themselves, then I'm okay with it. So honestly, I don't know what I like. It's just per book, I guess. But so far, God of Malice is that little bit where it does cross the line into sexual assault, and there is a bit of bullying in there, but also the character is written as like quite the sociopath, like in the sense that they don't have emotions like everyone else, where, I don't know, maybe that's where I can suspend my belief. It's a little bit more like, okay, this is just how they are, rather than someone choosing to do those things to someone and then say, oh yeah, but I love you. So yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me, I don't know. I don't know what I like or don't like apparently, but I'm on board with God of Malice so far. Even though it is sort of like that dark romance, it does sort of step into that sexual assault space. So yeah, I don't know, check your trigger warnings really, because if you do have those triggers, then this is definitely not the book for you. But so far, I'm not hating it. I am hating that they're 19. I did realize they were young, but I don't know. I'm going to pretend in my mind that they're not, because sometimes reading about 19-year-olds right now that I'm like late 30s, weird to me. But anyway, all that to say, hopefully the rain has sort of slowed down a little. It wasn't pouring down, it was just kind of spitting, so it should be okay. But yeah, let's start our walk. And hopefully today I get home and I don't feel like I need to sleep for the rest of the day, but I'm definitely feeling better. So we should get at least God of Malice finished probably today, and then that will be the video. Hi guys, it is currently Sunday night and I wanted to just check in and finish this video off. So I probably will maybe do a little bit more reading tonight, but I thought we'll just end it here with what I've got. So all up, I read 920 pages. And when I say read, I also mean read and listen. So there was audio and physical reading. So 920 pages all up in a week, which is roughly, if you go by about 300-page books, roughly 3 books. I am only halfway through God of Malice right now. I got up to page 224 today. So that is, yeah, like I said, halfway roughly. But I really didn't read a whole lot in the last few days because I don't know if I'm getting sick or if I'm just tired. Yesterday, I literally did nothing. I pretty much crashed out, as I was, I think, saying earlier. So yeah, I did listen to a bit of God of Malice today, and then I was doing some reading, but all up about how much? About 124 pages today, roughly. So yeah, I think that's still a fair amount considering, you know, I work quite a lot of hours. Well, I mean, I work full-time hours, which is not a lot, but then with the travel time on top, yeah, sometimes I'm just tired and don't feel like reading, or my brain's just not in it, and it's just because everything I do for work isn't physical, it's more mental. So yeah, I get a little bit mentally zoned out, I think, and sometimes like watching TV is a lot easier to sort of keep up with rather than reading. But yeah, that is pretty much what I do within a week when it comes to reading. So at least 1 to 2 books. Usually one physical book that I read, and then at least one book that I listen to. But 920 pages all up. So we listened to A Court of Frost and Starlight. We listened to Friends with the Monsters. And we started reading and did a bit of listening of God of Malice by Rena Kent. Yeah, all up, I think that's still a fair amount of reading. And yeah, that's it. So that is what I managed to read in a week. So let me know down below. I don't consider myself a particularly fast reader. So let me know down below how many books you sort of get in for a week, because I'm intrigued. If you like to listen to audiobooks, I definitely think, especially when you're traveling like I am, it's pretty easy to get quite a few books in. So if you can only get like half a book in a week, like I think, as you saw, like physically reading, I only got half of this book in. So a lot of my ability to get through a few books is due to audiobooks and the fact that I travel 2 hours a day for work. Which, you know, if it meant reading less and not having to drive to work, I would definitely choose not to drive, but it is what it is. Anyway, that is it. I really can't speak. It's getting late, and my brain is just not switched on this weekend. I feel like I just need to have a really good night's sleep. But yeah, anyway, that is it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a little bit different, and I'm really sorry about the lighting, but honestly, I'm just sitting at my desk under like a downlight, so I probably look like some weird horror movie character, but that is it. Thanks so much for sticking to the end. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was somewhat interesting. I like watching these videos, but then I guess some of the people I watch are probably more interesting than me, but anyway, have a good day, have a good night, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I hope your book is a 5-star read, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.